Awesome. So basically today we want to start writing some simple scripts. And we always start from what we know to what we don't know, right? So at least we know some commands. And putting the commands together will simply give us the script. It's as simple as that. So when you hear of a script or scripting, it doesn't mean anything so strange, right? All the commands we have been using so far, we are going to put them inside one file. Then we'll start running the file at once instead of running it individually. So if you have a group of things that you want to, or a group of commands or a list of commands you want to run, if there are many and you're always running the same commands over and over again, you can just put everything together in a script, just one script. And then when you run the script, all of them will run one after the other, and then you are done. Okay. So a shell script is just a text containing series of commands that the shell, or what we call the command line, the interpreter, can execute. Okay, just like writing a recipe for the computer to follow. So let me open Git bash here and let's get started. But so far, any questions for me on what we have been doing so far? So maybe in our next meetings, we may not be coming to Windows again. Windows has now done its work. We now know the connection or the mapping between what we are doing in Linux and what would have happened in Windows. Right now, we may not need to be using Windows again for the demonstrations. So right now, you must all start preparing for the black screen, full black screen with me. Okay. I believe most of you in this class already have your AWS accounts, right? So it should be a simple and straightforward thing. Okay.
Yes.
So as I said, these commands, some of them can be repetitive. So let's look at it. Like doing ls. We've seen ls. Okay. Then we've seen make directory and all of that. So let's say mkdir, when we have 4, you create a 4th folder. We've seen this. Then we've seen even the echo command, echo, or come to lesson 3, right? After lesson 3, we have 3 more powerful lessons to do. Then we'll conclude the introduction to your Linux course. Then those who get to the final stage with me, I'll give you a project work, you do it, and I'll give you a certificate. Is that good news? Or you don't need certificate?
We'll gladly take it.
It's a good news. A good news.
Yeah, you get level 1 certificate in Linux. Then there's a level 2. The level 2 will be another 6 weeks, but right now, looking at my schedule, maybe I'll not do it now, maybe after 3 months. But I can be doing a lot with the level 1 that I'm going to teach. Later on, we can do level 2. Level 2, when you finish, you can write another we call the RHCE. It's from Red Hat. And now when you finish, you can use the Linux alone to work as a system administrator. People don't know how powerful Linux is, but Linux is extremely powerful. Okay, so we've seen some of these basic commands we've been using, right? So let's write our first script. Now, we learned how to use a text editor we call Nano. I hope you all remember. So let's create a first script. And usually these scripts, they have an ending, right? And the end is sh. So we said we can use 2 methods to create a file. Either we use, let's say, so we can call my first.sh. So this .sh, this for shell scripts. I can do this. When I finish doing this, that means I must come and open it on the second step. But what about if I wanted to do all in one step? That is when we said you can just use the Nano straight away. I hope you all remember that. Nano will create it and open it for you. So Nano, this, and I hit enter. So it creates the file called first.sh, and it opens the file so I can start writing my codes or commands in it. Okay, so there's a first line of every Linux shell script that we must bring. Okay, and this line is usually called the shebang. People call this the shebang. Don't ask me what it means. Shebang. This is what they call that first line, shebang, right? So the first line is what you must always place there. It's like a boilerplate thing or a template that must always be there. So this is how we write it. So this is the hash symbol followed by the exclamation symbol, right? Then we have the bin and then the bash. Now this one I can tell you a little about what it means. So this is just telling us that now, why did we begin all of this with the hash? In Linux, somebody was asking about comments, and I told the person to hold on. When we get to scripting, I will tell you what we use to write comments in our code. Comments are just things that you ask the computer to ignore, but they are good for human beings to read, to understand the code. And interestingly, the shebang always starts with a hash, and the hash itself is a comment in scripting shell. In shell scripting is a comment. But this is not just a normal, an ordinary comment. This is a shebang, right? So what this script is doing that we are telling the shell to use the terminal to use the born again shell. There are so many shells, right? You can go and read about them. But when we see bin bash, then it means we are using the born again shell. The born again shell. That's the meaning of the BASH. But I won't get into those theories now. Later on, I'll give you notes to read more about that. Okay, so that's the first line. Then what do we do after that? After we've written this, we can start writing all our commands here. So let's do something that we are familiar with first before we start doing something we are not familiar with. So let's, maybe this script is a cleanup script, right? Computer is just misbehaving. So the cleanup script, let's say we are going to delete, we can delete some of these folders, right? And maybe create a file. And then when we finish, we'll just maybe write one of the files and then we'll echo whatever is inside the file. So we'll do all of them together in one script or over here. So let's start. You guys are going to lead the way. I want to remember what I've taught you. So the first thing, let's delete one of the folders. Which one are we deleting? And what is the command?
RM.
RM
dir.
dir. Okay. Yeah. So remove directory. Which one are you deleting?
4.
4. Why don't you like 4? We just created him and you are taking him away. Okay. So, okay, good. So we have removed 4. Then what else do we want to do? Let's see. You want to see the contents of 3, right? ls 3, right?
Yeah.
Then what again do we want to do? We want to create a file, right?
Yeah.
So touch what?
Life. Touch life.
Touch life. Hey,
Yeah.
you want to touch life? Life is good.
Yes.
.txt. Okay. Yeah. Then you can even echo something inside this file, right? Echo, take care of yourself. You're echoing this into what? Life is good, right? Because we created a file, we don't think there's anything inside it. It's good.txt. Then what do we do after that? We can look at the content of it, right? So we can cut life is good.txt. Okay. Then when we are done, we can just leave a message in the terminal. So echo all commands. all commands run successfully. Just freezing successfully. Okay, are we good?
Yep.
So with this a script. So when it says scripting, don't be thinking too far. It can be as simple as this. But let's see whether this script will work. Now we close from here, right? Control O. And then we hit enter. I'm not seeing those commands. I think the Zoom screen is blocking me. Let me take it away. Hold on. Okay. So enter. So Control X. Okay. Now let me first of all manually check what is inside the script that I have written right now. So let's check whether what we wrote is still there. So let's cut first.sh, right? Everything is inside, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now the next thing is to run the script. How do you run the script? Okay, so it is simple. If you want to run a script, you use a full stop. Just put the full stop. The full stop just tells you that you want to run it right here, right? Full stop, then you bring a slash. So these things are the syntax, how we do it. Don't ask me why are we doing it like that. This is how we do it. So full stop, then backslash, then the name of the script. It's called first.sh. On a typical Linux machine, when I do this, the script will not run because of what we call permission issues, right? But let's test it first. If we face that issue, then we'll come back. So I just hit enter, and then I'll wait to see whether the script will run. Did it run?
Yeah.
Because at least now, due to the importance of the echo part of a script, the echo will just be letting you see what is in, like some of the things happening inside the script itself. So in other programming languages, it will be like something like print or println. If it's Java, println. If it's Python, print. If it is JavaScript, you have it as console.log, right? So these are some of the things that, and those things are used to print things to the terminal for you to see. So it means all commands have run successfully. We wrote this inside the script ourselves. And it was the last thing or the last command that we give. Now let's look here. Do we see that physically it has created that file for us? Physically to the folder 4 has been deleted. Do you all see that? Yeah. Do you all see that folder 4 is gone?
Yeah.
And then this script has been created for us. Yeah. Now let's open this file and see whether what we also wanted to write is in it. So I'm opening it and let's check. It's taking ages to open. Oh. Okay, this is inside there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any questions? Any questions?
So,
Any questions?
what is the script? The main purpose of a script, like what do you really use it for? If you
Okay, who wants to answer that question? Who wants to answer that question for you? I thought I mentioned it, but if I didn't mention it, anybody can feel free to give an idea. What's the main purpose of this?
I think if you want to do a series of command, you want to do a series of command and you don't want to be repeating it over and over again. So you write all and run all at a go.
Awesome. So let's say you have a particular series of things that you do on a computer, right? Every time you come to the computer, you want to do those checks. You want to check the CPU, you want to check the RAM utilization, you want to maybe go and look at the content of a certain folder, or there's a particular folder that you must always do backup, maybe copy content from that folder to another folder. And sometimes these folders are mounted to drives. So if you are copying content from one folder to another folder, it's just like you are copying from one drive to another drive. Yeah. So you may have backups you regularly do. You may have maybe checks you always do. You can put all of them together in one script instead of like doing it one after the other by typing in the terminal. right? You can just put all of them together in one script. When you just come to the office in the morning, you just run your script, and all those commands will run, and the outputs will be there for you to pick or use or see the effect. Instead of coming there every day and you be typing about 1,000 lines, you can have all the 1,000 lines of commands that you need to run every morning in one script. You just open that script and run that script. So it saves you time, and it prevents you from doing repetitive tasks by yourself over and over again. Yeah, I hope it's clear. So they have the power to do so, run any command at all, whether it's by doing backup, whether you are doing checks, whether you are doing, if you have something we call the cron job, right? Those are repetitive things you want to run at almost every time of the, except at a particular time of the day. So let's say you want to delete all the contents of a certain file, let me say storage device. At 12 noon, you always want to go and delete everything that is there. You can create a script and you can place a schedule on that script. So every 12 noon, that script will come up and run. These are some of the importance of scripting that we do. Any more questions? Any more questions?
Yes, please. Do we have some particular line, like let me say if it's updates? So should it be all updates? Should it be all backups? Can it be in a particular line, or can do both updates, backup, can go network configuration and everything, or it has a particular line it has to go?
The word you're using, are you using line, or I'm not hearing that word well?
Yes, I mean a particular line of things you have to do.
Okay.
I mean,
okay,
when
okay,
you are
okay.
doing updates, maybe you are doing updates of softwares, or maybe should it be backups, or should be network configuration scripts?
Yeah. So I think it all depends on you, the engineer, right? So it depends on what you want to do. If you want to separate, oh, who is that? Team, when you join, sometimes you have to mute your. Oh,
But it's your turn.
please, when you join and there's not your background, kindly mute yourself. So I think it's a wise question you're asking. So sometimes if you want to be organized, you may not entirely put all your scripts and all your commands in one file because you have learned scripting, so you want to do everything in one place. No, you can have several scripts which do several or different things, right? You don't put every other command you ever need in your life in one script. No. So sometimes we have scripts that we use for deployment. Sometimes we have scripts used for configuration, right? So let's say you create a server, you copy that script to the server, and then you run that script to auto configure that server for you. So that every other server you ever deploy, that script will just be copied there, and then that script will be run, and it configures that server for you. So that script, you may not mix its content with another script, maybe doing backup or something. So I understand what you're saying. It makes sense. And that's what we actually do. Okay, any other questions?
Mr. Shadrach,
Yes.
I
please.
just joined back from town. So please, what's the first.sh? I just want to know the meaning.
Where is the .sh you are seeing? This one, it's a script. Is that the first script you have written?
Yeah, for
It's just for demonstration's sake. So we'll be doing more. Don't worry. We'll be creating more scripts. This is just the first one we created here.
okay.
Yeah. Team, if you are ready, we'll go to the next line. But as I was saying, on a real server, you may have to, after you create the script, you have to enable the script to be able to run. So we'll change the permissions. And CH mode means you are changing the permissions of the script, right? So CH mode, and you add an executable. So CH mode plus X. X just means you are making it what? Executable, right? Then you do first.sh. So you must, all that this line is doing, that is just enabling the script to be able to run on the server. It's giving it execute permissions. Without the execute permissions, some scripts will not even run at all. They'll give you permission error, that permission denied. Okay. So these are just the basics that I see often. Now let's go to our next script. Are we all good? So for the sake of, maybe in case someone doesn't really understand what we've done so far, the script, the Nano, we just use Nano to create a file with an extension .sh. We went inside the file, we learned that with every script, this is a default line that must appear. whether I like it or not, please bring it. And then after that, whatever commands, so these are just commands we just dumped inside the script. Random commands, like we just created, we removed the folder called for, there was a folder called for here. We look at the content of the folder called 3, right? So ls3, then we created a file called life is good. We echoed this text into that file called life is good. Then we just did a cut of life is good, right? .txt. Then we just echoed another command. All commands run successfully. So all the echo stuff, you'll be seeing them here. So take care of yourself. It's because we did a cut. Cut always shows us what is inside the file. That's why we are seeing this. So whatever we wrote inside the file, we also wanted to see it. And indeed, it is being shown to us in the terminal. Then the last command we run is echo all commands run successfully. And that one is also showing when we run the script. Now to run the script, all that we do is to put the full stop, backslash, and then the name of the script. That's all. Full stop, backslash, name of the script, and then the script will run. Okay, awesome.
The hash bin, it's not a script. If you don't
Which
bring
one?
that, if you don't bring that 3 command, the hash, the bin, and the bash, then
The
it's not a
shebang. So we
yeah,
call
the
the
shebang.
shebang. Yeah.
Shebang.
Yeah. Then it's not a script you have written.
It's not a script.
Yeah. So you must define the what do you call it? The shell you want to use.
Okay.
Okay, team. Any other questions? I think this is a very basic script which makes us understand scripting, right? We have not done anything complex so far. Yeah. So the assignment I'll give you, or things that you can even explore on your own. On your own, you can even be testing out how to do certain things by just putting them in a script. And you can do that on your EC2, right? So you can run a script which deploys Nginx server, that configures the server, and then all that you have to do is just bring the website, and the server will just host the website for you. Simple. Because all the configurations are inside your Nginx. I think that thing, let me see whether we can do it today. If not today, maybe next time we meet. Today we are just doing the fundamentals. So let me just lay low. I shouldn't go far ahead of myself. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? I don't think there's some network engineers in the call. So that's why some questions are coming, and I like them.
I'm still on that.
Please, if you are talking externally, you mute yourself. Okay. Let's continue. I think my guys are ready. People are now turning themselves on fire. So let's continue. You're on fire for Linux. Now, let me introduce the concept of variables in shell scripting, okay? So there's another concept we call variables. Let me clear the screen. And variables are not just in shell scripting. They are in almost every programming language you learn. You need variables. So variables are basically just containers that hold values for
Shadow, please, you have been muted.
We can't hear you.
Hey, who muted me all this time? I hope I didn't mute myself. How long have I been on mute?
For like 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. Bad.
When you're talking about
Since you started writing the script.
No. When you're talking about variables.
Okay. So variables are just containers that store certain values for us, right? So you must give it a name, and then you can store certain values in it. The reason why we are calling the variable is that a particular container, which we are calling the variable, can contain different stuff. So it is variable, it changes. Variable means changes, right? So if the content that is storing can change, then that thing, that is the container itself, we call it a variable. And as I said, it's in almost every programming language, not just scripting. Okay, not just self-scripting. So let me call this one AMA. The name is AMA. Then we can have the age variable. Now this is, I'm not leaving any space anywhere. So this is like a default thing we do. So AMA is 18. And then the city, the city, we have city Accra. Okay. So we have created the variables in the shell script, right? And then after creating the variables, we can use the variable. Okay, so let's try to use the variable. And how do we use variables that have been created in the shell? So let's say we want to change this to, let me just write a short essay. So echo will show me the things in the terminal. That's why I'm just using echo, right? So my name is, then I don't want to type my name again. Okay, now let me make it more sensible. So let me just show you why I may not want to be typing the name over and over again. Because let's say Amma has a very, very long name, and typing it all the time may not be worth it, right? So let's give her that long name we don't want to type. Amma, a J, run, she, as someone. Okay. So we have a fine case here. We may not want to be typing these variable names, okay? Who sells laptop in this call? I'm looking for, I have to go and buy a laptop this week. This laptop is embarrassingly slow. Okay, so so name, and then so we just fetch the content of what? The variable called name. So how to fetch the content is just put a curly braces around it, right? We put in a curly braces around it, and then we fetch its content. So once you put the curly brace around the container is this one, the name. So you put curly brace around it and there's a $sign, it will go and fetch the content of the name for you, right? So my name is name, right? My name is content of name. This is how you read it. My name is whatever is inside the content of what the variable called name. And then let's do something, another echo again. So echo. Next year, I will be dash years old. Okay. So we learned that, I think I mentioned before, that whenever you put any text in quotation, becomes a string. So when you're trying to fetch a variable name or make a string variable or dynamic, so this string is that whatever name I put here, the string will just go and fetch that name and bring it here. So this is a dynamic string. It's not a fixed string. Like my name is Amma. If I type raw, my name is Amma. Next time I want to change the name here, I'll have to come and delete Amma from here and put the new name here. But with this dynamic string, you never touch this string. You only touch the container. So I can come and change the content of the container or the variable here, and then it will reflect down here for me. That's one of the beautiful things about variables. Once you change where you created it, the value there, everywhere you are using the variable inside the script, it will also automatically change. So in case you are using a variable about 1,000 times in the script, if you change your name from Amma to something else, you don't have to go into the script and go and delete all the places that you see Amma, a J, Crunchy, Asamoah, Befi. You don't have to go and change it everywhere. No, you just change it at the top here once, and everywhere in the script that you are using the name, automatically it changes for you. So variables can save you also a lot of time, right? And makes your code or your script more reproducible and useful. Questions before we continue? So right now, I want us to put her age here. How old she will be in, what do you call it, next year, right? If this year she's 18. So what expression should I write here to help us get that? I've shown you how we did it for the name. How are you going to do it for the age? Anyone to provide guidance? Okay, it's your first time, so let me do it for you. So it is still the dollar sign, right? The dollar sign is used to put in some variables. And this time round, we want to pull what? A calculation, because I have to do a calculation, right? I must pick the age and then I must add 1 to it. So I'm not going to just use the curly braces. And whenever you want to do that, run calculations, use 2 brackets. Okay, let's test to see whether it works. So how do we test it? Control X. Yes, I want to save this modifier buffer. Enter, I want to write. And then it exits. So let's say I'm on a normal server, I'll do chmod. Change the mode. I'll make it class executable permissions on the second dot what? sh. Now once it has the permissions, then we are ready to run it, right? Full stop /, then the name of the script. Okay. Are we good? So I've run the script and we are getting the outputs. Okay, any questions on this? When I finish, I'll just upload all the scripts for you. So don't bother yourself writing notes.
Hello, Shadrach.
Yes.
So the first one, I saw the exclamation mark and the hash is 1. But this one, I noticed that the hash is 2.
Which hash is 2? Let me see. Is that what I did?
Yes, the hash was 2. When
Let
you
me
were running
see.
the nano command.
So cut, let me look at the content. Do you mean the content of the
Shebang, the
script?
shebang. He's talking about the shebang. You did the hash.
Oh, that it says a syntax error. I mean typo. It is a typo.
So it's supposed to be 1, right?
Yeah, it's 1.
Okay. So I was waiting to see the error, but I didn't see any error,
Oh,
so
you
I
didn't
was
see error.
confused.
Okay. Okay. Are we good?
Yeah.
I think you guys are okay with this. Let's move on to the next script. I'm trying to give you something that's more interesting than just these boring scripts. Okay, let's create something. I think we can create something that's interactive, right? But before that, let me not jump ahead of myself. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, I think it's still worth trying something that's interactive. Yes, Robert, your hand is up. You can unmute yourself and speak. Or have I locked everybody? No, you can unmute and speak here. Go ahead.
Please, I just wanted to ask. I realized with the variables, you left them all in caps. So is it a rule or you just place them in caps to differentiate?
Yeah, that's the syntax. So you can call it a rule. You can try doing otherwise and see the effect. Okay. So some of the
Okay.
things is just a way by which we do things. Even in Python, do the same thing. You may choose to use lowercase, uppercase, but there's some variable that when you are creating, you must use uppercase. It's just like should I say standard? Yeah. Standard way of doing things. So let's go
All
to
right,
our next
thank
script,
you.
right? Thank you. Welcome to. Okay, so let's go to our next script. Let's do nano. I want that to create a calculator. Let's see how it works. If it doesn't work, I'll give it to you as an assignment. A simple calculator, not a scientific calculator. Okay, so nano, then let's call it calc.sh, right? We open it, then our shebang, then bash. Let's open your eyes in case I'm typing some. Okay, let me move. Because there's a zoom icon on my screen that is covering, prevents me from seeing what I'm typing fully. That's why I didn't see that. Okay, let's go. So right now, I want to be able to read an output from the one who will use my code. Okay. And then when I read the output, I now use the output and then the two outputs to perform the calculation. Let's say a simple addition. So the command to pick user input, we call user inputs. Why is it not coming? I'm typing. Okay, it's not coming. It's just a read. That's all. If it were to be Python, we'll be just typing input. But here it's Linux, so we type read. So read, then the message I want to give to the user. So the user will know what I want to read. So enter first number. Enter first number. So enter first number. So this is what I'm telling the user. Enter first number. Then on the screen, this is what the user will see. But whatever the person types, it will be captured, okay, and then stored inside a variable called what? Num1. Not the num1 we know. It's different. Then let's say we are just doing simple addition, right? So to read and something else, right? Let's say read
You're not put the ground.
enter second number, right? Then we call this one what? Num2, right? Okay. Then we will now perform the sum inside the script. So we will have another variable called what? Sum, which will store the result for us. So sum will be equal to what? The addition of num1 and num2 that we picked, right? So sum is equal to the addition. So we are going to render one as a calculation, right? So we have num1 plus num2. Okay. Then we capture that. Then we go to the next line, and then maybe we can just do an echo, so that the person will see the answer or the result in their screen. So we have echo the sum of num1, right? And whatever is stored inside, whenever I use a dollar, it means whatever is stored inside that place, right? Whatever is stored inside num2. Okay, so num1 we brought, num1 stored the first thing the person entered, num2 stored the second thing the person entered. Now to do a sum, we are just adding what the two things the person has entered, right? And then we want to show the result. So the sum of num1 and what? Num2. So to show you that this is the first number you type, maybe type 3 plus 4. So to show you that sum of 3 and 4 is, then to give you the answer. So then the answer was stored inside the variable called sum, right? Over here. We stored the answer here. So I must also come and pull whatever is stored inside what? The variable called sum. I'll go by it. I know that some people may be getting confused, so I'll go by it. Okay, good. So this is very simple. To take input from users in the terminal, we use this read -p. And then you have to give the user a message, right? So this is a message that you give to the user on the screen. So when it's like the calculator tells you enter your first number, then you type it, you press it manually. When you are done, this second message will come, then you press it manually. Now, as soon as you press it or key in the number, it is being stored inside these variables. Then this is now the calculation we are performing inside the script, right? We are running this calculation. Then we'll just show the result. Echo will show the result to the screen. So the sum of the first number we stored inside the variable, we want to print that number out. That's why we are using the $sign. So it gets whatever number is stored here in the first one. The dollar also gets whatever is stored in the second one. Then it also gets us whatever result we got here. So it's showing now the sum of maybe 3 and 4 is what? 7. Okay, let's see whether it will work. Do you think it will work or you think there will be an error? So let me move okay. So we have Control X, yes, and then we have enter. Control X, and then we have enter. Okay, and just by practice, we know that usually if we run a normal server, we have to give it write permission, right? So chmod +X, executable permission, sorry, not write permission. Then we do what? calc.sh. Okay. Now let's see whether our script will work. If it doesn't work, take it as homework. That's a good line, right? Okay. So we want to now run the script, calc.sh, and then the script should be able to run for us. So it's now running. Enter your first number. I just type 5. When I hit enter, it stores the 5 inside num1. Enter your second number. I type maybe 7, right? And when I hit enter again, it stores the 7 inside num2. Then it does the calculation and goes to the equal line and gives me the answer. The sum of 5 and 7 is 12. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Any questions? Any questions? So, he said? I thought someone was saying something.
Yeah, I think this one, I think we need a lot of practice too.
Oh, yeah, this one is practice.
Yes.
So you go and create a calculator that does subtraction.
Yeah.
Maybe you can try and do that on your own. Or one that does, so you can do your, so you can, we could have named this one calc.addition or calc_addition.sh. Then you create another one, calc_subtraction.sh. So you create all of them. Then later on, you can put all of them inside the script. It sounds funny, eh? You put all of these ones inside the script. Then the script, you add what we call conditionals. That's the last thing we'll do before you close. That if the person chooses addition, then the addition script will run. If the person chooses subtraction, then the subtraction script will run. So you can make, before you realize you have a full calculator, and you can share it on LinkedIn. I've created a calculator by using Linux, which runs in the terminal. People say, oh, you are doing something, you are learning something. Okay. So the little drop of water is very soon we'll be combining them. So make sure you understand the little stuff I'm giving you, because when I start combining them, some of you will start running away. The attendance will drop from 20 to 5. I hope that doesn't happen. Okay. Are we good? Can we continue? So let's just do a simple conditional, right? And I'm not teaching you, see, I would have just taught you the theory. I'll give you notes, okay? Notes about these things. But right now, I'm just doing it practically for you to see how each of them works. And when I give the notes, you go and take your time and read about how to do addition, like the $sign, the syntax, and those. I'll give you notes. Don't worry. All right, I'm doing it for, I will say, Fidi Kadoji. Okay, so let's do one conditional. So nano. So this is our next script, right? Nano. Let's create an each checker. This is a common one I've been doing with students. So each check.sh, right? Let's create something interesting. Each check.sh. So if you are old, if let's say if you are above 50, they say, Charlie, you are a growee. If you are below 50, then we tell you that you are still coming. Something very simple, right? It doesn't sound interesting, but we'll still do it. So the shebang must always be there, bin bash. Okay. Then read. You all know what I'm going to type, right? I want to read the person's age. And I'll do read P. Then I'll give the person a message. Enter your age, right? Then where do I want to store this? I'll store it in a variable called age. And now you guys are masters, you know these things. Then the next thing is, so I'm going to create the conditional. And this conditional is called an if else, because you see me physically typing if and else. So if, okay, now if you want to create a conditional statement of comparison, that's when we use what? The square brackets. So if whatever is stored inside the age, that means whatever is stored inside that thing, right? I want somebody who can just tell me the meaning of this one. What I've just typed, what do you think it means? The GE. Who thinks they understand the meaning of the GE?
Can I give it a shot?
Oh, yeah, why not?
Generate.
Okay, you are about 50 meters away from the shot. Another person. Yeah. If age is what?
Age.
If it's what? The GE, that GE, what does it mean? The hyphen GE.
Will it be greater than?
Someone is
Less
saying
than
greater than.
Less than 50. If the age is less than 50.
Okay, it is closer to what the other person said. So the G means greater than, and the E means
Greater,
equal
greater
to.
or equal to. Greater or
Yeah,
equal to.
exactly. Hey, why? I hope nobody used ChatGPT. The way the pause was long and the confidence just came like that. Okay, don't worry, me. I've been a teacher for so many years, so I know what we do. So if the age is greater than or equal to 50, then we'll tell the person what? I hope nobody is greater than. Is someone in the call who is 50 or 50 plus? I don't want to offend anyone. I've met an 80-year-old guy who started learning at the age of 70, and the way he's good there. So I tell people that in tech, there's nothing like I am too old for this. No. You are a champion, yeah. You are a champion. Okay. This one's not offensive. Then, if this condition is not what we want, then we can just say, else, if you are not up to this age, then you are a beginner, right? You are still coming. So else, you echo something else to the person. Echo. I hope you are not a minor. Okay. Then funny enough, in scripting language, whatever you start with, if you start with if, must end with fee. Don't ask me why. It's just the opposite of the if. Go and find out why. We are done. We have finished this script. A very simple script. You can go and make it more complex. Me, I will keep it things simple for our first day of scripting. So control, yes, enter, we are done. Then we do our ritual, make it what? Executable. Change mode, last s h check .sh. Let's run it and see whether it will work. Okay. We hit enter. Enter your age. Let's say I'm 51. You're a champion. Is it working? Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try the other way around. Let's go for an A that is less than that. So we'll type 39. Oh, why is it not coming? 39. So it's working, right? So this is what we call conditional. Team, are we good?
It's working.
Okay. So we can imagine,
Shadrach,
yes.
please, can you do cuts for the age check .sh? Because
Are you
I'm
okay?
not yeah, I've seen it. I'm not able to run mine. Anytime I run, this is what counts. Enter your age. Then there will be age again over there.
So check the syntax. Check whether you really have what I wrote. Read -p, then enter your age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I think I've seen it.
Are you okay? Okay, good. So this condition like this can be used to create a simple password checker, right? So you will collect your password. We say enter your password. Then you collect your password. Then you can have an internal logic. If your password is equal to maybe a certain password that we know, they will tell you that access granted. If it's not, we tell you access denied. So you guys can go and create that. Okay, are we good? So this is our introduction to scripting. So next week, we use scripting to host a website. So I'll give you a series of assignments, about three assignments to do. If you have to do them successfully, the way we meet, we will use scripting to host a website and create a cron job which runs automatically at let's say specific times of the day to do backup of data. So those are the two things we'll do in our next meeting. Learn how to do backup with scripting and also host a website with a script. We'll prepare everything in the script. Or we'll do it manually first. When you finish doing it manually, then we'll now copy all the commands into a script and we'll arrange it nicely, add maybe error checks and what have you. Then we'll use it to deploy websites. We'll try it on one server, it works. We'll go to the next server, we'll try it, it works. Remember, the script is good for deploying websites. Okay. If no questions, I hope today's meeting has been insightful. This is just intro, so I don't want to go hard on you guys. Let's just end here. And I'll not make the recording too long. Hopefully next meeting you'll have practiced enough. I'll give you more detailed notes, and then when we meet, we'll keep on firing from there. Okay.
We got a recording now.